Alright guys, Paul back here with another video. Now with the easing of restrictions, more and more of us are going out and starting to shoot again. So a couple of weeks ago I connected with a couple of Melbourne based photographers and we decided to collaborate on a video. 3 photographers shoot 1 model. You might have seen this type of video around YouTube. Now the photographers are Tommy and Julian. Really fantastic photographers, even nicer people. And the model that we were shooting was Bianca. Now that isn't this video. This isn't 3 photographers shoot 1 model. That's going on Julian's channel on the 14th of June around 9 PM, and I will link that below so you can check out the full video. Now to be clear, I am not an expert in portrait photography. I think the real purpose of this video is to shine a light on what it's actually like interacting with a model, going out on a shoot and just maybe showing some etiquette. Now I do know what I like when it comes into portraits. I like fairly tight angles, fairly shallow depth of field to really isolate my subject, and something to show some form of depth. Obstructing the lens with some sort of element like flowers, grass, anything, shooting through that and really capturing my subject in this moment. Forgive me if I'm just mansplaining this thing. A quick rundown of how we were actually running the shoot. So there were 3 photographers, 1 model. Each photographer got to pick 1 location along this 1 street, and each photographer got 3 minutes at each location, with the end result of having 3 images per location. So 9 images in total. And it wasn't a competition or anything like that. It was just showing how different people, given the same environment, shoot completely different. Let's just jump into the video, and I'm just going to explain kind of my thoughts, my feelings, and like what I was doing in this moment and how I was navigating the environment. So first up was Tommy's location, and this is a spot that I've never normally picked. This is half the fun in these types of videos. So this is regular white car with a few different leaves across it. So here I just start off low and I try to get some really nice poses, try to utilize that light that's coming in from the left hand side across Bianca's face. And now you'll probably see this throughout this video. I'll dart around the location between different compositions to try and find something I like. Trying to get some nice out-depth elements with using her hand. Then I go in to try and create some nice shadowy shapes on her face, try to put a bit of interest to it. I recommend before going into any sort of portrait shoot is have some poses in your head to refer back to if you ever get a little bit lost. This is actually one of the poses I was going after. Positioning myself in a lower angle shooting up is a really empowering pose, and it's something I was really going for. Now I try to go for some poses that these guys might not do. And here's me kind of awkwardly mansplaining posing to Bianca. Luckily she's really good at this sort of stuff and just kind of went and roll with it. Again, really favouring the kind of lower angles. Now if you've seen any of my other portraits before, you'll know that I like obstructing the lens with some part of the environment, whether it be a leaf, piece of grass. But this didn't work and I just soon ditched that. So the guys didn't get this on film, but I actually started coming into my own at the very end there, and I fired off these couple of shots. It wasn't until I was really comfortable that I actually remembered that I like these backlit shots. That's these last couple of images which I think were the stronger of the set. So now the second location was my location. I picked this, and I picked it for a few different reasons, mainly because it's got a couple of different color palettes to it. It's got a lot of different elements that each photographer can use completely differently. Just before the shoot here, I actually had a little powwow with the model, and I really wanted to utilize the fence to have a nice leading line going into the image. Now Bianca's got a really nice soft color palette, and I wanted to contrast that with the fence. I thought this worked really well, and I wanted to have the pop of red really separating her from the background. I think everything just from color palette to her pose to the facial expression just all kind of came together really nicely here. So this is part where I actually started to struggle. I was trying to shoot a little bit wider, a little bit out of my comfort zone, and this is where me not being able to direct models particularly well came into a little bit of trouble. Not sure if they're just bad images or just because they're not my particular style, that I didn't really like them. I soon started to try to use the bush and the leaves here. I really liked how the light was coming in and slightly wrapping around her face, along with this really nice soft expression that she was giving me. And then of course I used that old like depth of field trick. I grabbed some flowers and put it in front of the lens, but as you'll see here, it didn't really work out. But Bianca, being a superstar, she jumped on this, and I actually bounced off her on this. I was only going to use it to obstruct the lens, but she actually had this really nice idea of blowing the flower petals towards the lens, which I actually really liked. First attempt is a little bit of a fail here. It didn't really work, and then it kind of goes a little bit out of focus here, but then we nail it on this shot, and me with 20 seconds to spare, being super overconfident, just decided to call it. Now this might have been my downfall, because these are the 3 images that I got from this shoot. The second one with Bianca blowing the rose petals, and then the third one is kind of similar to the second one, but again, I still like it. I think it's the 3 strongest images I got from this. Now what I should have done, just to cover my ass, is to shoot a little bit more, use those vital 22 seconds, a couple more shots in there. And the final spot was Julian's. Real nice spot, a lot of different colors to work with, a lot of different elements to work with in this one little space, along with a little outfit change from Bianca. It came to be one of my favorite spots of the day. I learned from the first 2 shoots. I was trying to direct Bianca a little bit more, and I wanted to try and step back a little bit more, use a little bit more of the environment to try and get some different looks. Now I knew straight off the bat I wanted to shoot Bianca in front of this door, real nice arch back, nice soft look towards the camera. Now at this point it was becoming like 11:30 I believe. The sun was getting a little bit high, so I really tried to use that in our favour. One of my favourite shots from this location were actually backlit. I think it worked really well here. Trying one of the shots that didn't really work in the first set, trying to cast some really nice shadows onto her face. I think some of these worked really nice. Now here's me trying to mansplain some poses to Bianca, which always really helps when directing a model, is to physically show them. And that's something I learned from Tommy. I want to try and get a little bit more shape in this image. I think the camera kind of captures it perfectly here. So this probably embodies everything I love in portrait photography. Nice backlit subject, really nice angular pose, some nice out of depth elements, and this is exactly where it cuts off. Now these are the 3 images I got from this particular location. Really like this location. I like the tones, the colors, the lighting, everything. And these are the 9 images that I got in total for the day. So I don't know if you've seen any of my other work, but this is a more filmic style that I was going for with these particular types of edits, which I think worked really well, really brought everything together. I think overall it's a really nice set of photos. I've not yet seen all the other photos from the other guys, from Tommy and Julian. This is going to be in Julian's video, where I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see how it all comes together. To give you a little bit more value, just the things to maybe watch out for, things I actually learned throughout this shoot, and maybe things you can implement in your own. It's always a good idea to understand what you like in portraiture. I also have a couple of things that anytime I get lost, I'll always revert back to, and then I'll start building up from there. It's good to experiment when you're in the shoot, but if you ever do get lost, you can implement this. The things I could have done better, and which I learned from Tommy and Julian, is how to pose Bianca a little bit more. Posing models has never been my strong suit, so that was something I was able to really learn from those guys. If you're planning a shoot, have a bunch of poses you can refer back to, which will open up a little bit more communication between you and your model. You'll actually start to get like clearer results from your imagery. I really hope I was able to teach you something today. Again, as I said at the beginning, like shooting with a model can be very daunting, and I hope I was able to shine a light on what it's actually like. If you want to get a further more in-depth look at that, please go and check out the full video, 3 photographers shoot 1 model. It'll be out on Julian's channel on the 14th. I think these videos are coming around the same time, so go and check that out. While you're at it, make sure you check out Tommy and Julian's pages. Really talented photographers, really nice guys. But thank you very much, guys. I hope I gave you some value in this video. If you haven't already, please follow me along on Instagram. And of course, do all those beautiful YouTube things, like, subscribe and comment. But until next time, guys, peace.